Today is 4 December 2008. We are at the home of John Tuczynski. My name is Wayne Clark. I'm with the New York State Military Museum and Veterans Research Center in Saratoga Springs, New York. Mr. Tuczynski, for the record, would you please state your full name and your date and place of birth?
John James Tuczynski, born in Valatie, New York, 4/26/21.
Okay, and did you go to school in Valatie?
Yes.
Okay.
I went to school, Martin H. Glenn High School.
Okay, and what year did you graduate?
I didn't graduate. I went third year.
Okay.
3 years, and then I never went back.
Did you drop out to join the service?
Yeah, I went to service then.
Okay, and you went into the Army?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and why did you pick the Army?
I didn't pick it. They picked it for me.
Oh,
I was drafted.
oh, you got drafted, I see, okay. And when did you enter the service? Well, it looks like you've got October the 24th of 1942.
Yes, that should be it.
Okay, and where did you go for your basic training?
Camp Croft, South Carolina.
Okay, was that your first time away from home?
Oh yeah, yes it was.
Okay, and let me just go back a little bit. Do you remember where you were when you heard about Pearl Harbor?
I was down in Valatie. We were on Main Street when we heard it. There was a bunch of kids were down there.
Uh-huh.
It's a small little village. It's very small.
Yeah.
And that's when we heard about Pearl Harbor.
What was your reaction to it? Did you think we'd be going to war over it?
Oh yeah, we did. There was my cousin and I. He wanted to go, and he went with me when we got drafted for physical, but he got turned down.
Uh-huh.
So then he went back and he joined the Navy.
Now, whereabouts did you go for your physical?
In Albany.
In Albany. Okay. And when you went to basic, what was that like for you? Was it
nice.
it an infantry basic, or was
Infantry, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. And how long was that training for, approximately?
I think it's 10 weeks at that time.
Okay. And what type of weapons did you train on?
I didn't train on anything there. We had the M1 at the time, but when I went overseas is when I got onto the mortar.
Okay.
81 mortar.
Okay. Once you completed your basic training, did you go on to any advanced training at all?
There was 3 of us, all in the same platoon, and we were supposed to go to Fort Bennings, Georgia, but we never got there. And they shipped us to New Orleans. From New Orleans, we got a boat and went to Trinidad.
Okay. And was that a troop ship they put you on?
Yep, English.
Okay. All right. And once you went to Trinidad, how long were you there for?
Oh, approximately 3 months. We went to Trinidad because they said that the Germans were fueling their submarines at the island of Martinique, and I guess we were supposed to go and stop it.
Okay.
But it never happened. I guess they pulled the Germans out, and that was it.
Okay.
We never went there. Then they came up with they wanted volunteers for a mission, and they were going to give us 30 days leave. So I was never home yet.
Uh-huh.
So right from the time I left. So I think 90% of us volunteered, but we never got no leave.
Oh, okay. So from Trinidad, where did you go?
Well, we flew into Miami, and Miami we got on a train and went into into California.
Okay.
We was there for 2 days or 3 days, and then we got on this ship, the SS Lorelei, for Calcutta.
Okay. Now, what part of California did you leave from?
Is it Pittsburgh? Is there a Pittsburgh?
Oh, okay. That's outside of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And all right, you went from California to Calcutta. Okay. How long was that trip?
35 days.
Okay. Was it a convoy or a single ship?
Single ship, the SS Lorraine, fast, he's very fast.
Okay.
It was a luxury liner.
Okay. Did you get seasick at all?
No,
Okay. What were the living conditions like? What was
it
it?
was good for us because just before we got on the ship, this sailor down there, he says, there was three of us. He said, if you were smart, he said, volunteer for KP. I said, well, you're crazy. And I said, but we did,
Uh-huh.
and we ate just like the Navy did. We lived good.
Okay.
And I was a corporal at the time.
And what were your living conditions like aboard ship?
Good. We had four of us in a stateroom.
Oh, a stateroom. Okay. Yeah, most guys were crammed into
There was
the hold.
5,000 troops on that ship.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I think the whole Marauders must have been on it.
Okay. Now, were you part of Merrill's Marauders at that point?
No, not until we got in India.
Okay. So you landed at Calcutta, India, and how long were you in Calcutta for?
Not too long. We got on a train, went up to, I think it was Lido. And from there, we started walking
Mm-hmm.
into Burma, up the Burma Road.
Oh, okay. How long did it take you to get there?
Up the road?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but it was 100 and some miles.
Uh-huh.
We had to walk every day.
Okay. During that time period, did you have any contact with the Japanese?
No, not then, no.
Okay. And at that point, were you fully equipped? Were
Oh,
you
yes,
you were issued
everything.
what type of rifle were you issued?
I had an M1 at the time.
Okay. All right. Did you have a sidearm too, or just a rifle?
No, I didn't have no sidearm at the time.
Okay. All right. And once you got into Burma, what happened next?
Well, our first mission was in Wallabum, and we were behind the enemy line. We always were behind the enemy lines.
Mm-hmm.
It was hit and run. And there was two Japs coming down the trail, and some dummy, he shot at them and missed them. And then all heck broke loose. So we naturally were running again.
Uh-huh.
So we took up and run. Yeah.
Now you were part of Merrill's Marauders at that point.
Oh yes.
Now,
I was part of Merrill's Marauders when we walked up the Burma Road.
okay. Now, did they give you any extra training for that?
No.
No, they just said you're a Merrill Marauder.
Well, it was the training we had. See, when I was in Trinidad, the 33rd Infantry was there. They were
Okay.
there from Panama. So I got in there early, and I was part of that outfit too
Okay.
for a while, till we left there.
Okay. And when did they make you a squad leader?
I was when I got right into when I went into
Okay.
combat.
Okay. And you were with the 81 millimeter mortars?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. When was the first time that you actually had contact with the Japanese? Was it that point where
That's
the fellow?
That's the first time we had it.
Okay.
Contact with them.
Okay. Did you lose any men at that point?
We lost. No, not that time. No,
Okay.
the next one we did.
Okay. Do you wanna talk about that next experience?
Well, the next experience, I don't remember too much where we went from Wallabum. I know we were back in the jungles, but on the next one, see, can't quite remember the name of the place we were, but my lieutenant, my platoon lieutenant, he was hit.
Okay. All right. Now was that in the hilltop village of? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
No, that was before the Punga.
Okay.
Then after that, where he got hit, then we had to run. We were always on a run,
Uh huh.
because and then we got into Punga and we made a stand there.
Okay.
Just the 2nd Battalion made that stand.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them, they were 3rd Battalion, they were gone. 1st Battalion were gone.
Mm-hmm. And you were operating the mortars.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, how many men were in a mortar crew?
I had 6. That's all.
Okay. And did everybody carry a piece of the the mortar and
We had mules.
mules?
Mules carried our
Oh.
ammunition. Oh yeah, I had 2 mules.
Okay. How did they work out?
They were very good. They were better than horses. Horses were no good.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Mules
that's
were very
interesting.
good. Some
Okay.
guys had horses, but I had 2 mules. Then I lost a mule. He got killed, so I had to go out and steal somebody else's.
How was it killed? Did it get shot?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, how were you guys resupplied?
By airdrop.
Okay.
Yep. One time we got they were dropping the airdrop, and I guess they got the first thing that came out of the plane was feed for the mules and horses.
Uh-huh.
We got the feed for the mules and horses, and then we got hit. We had to get out of there. So we picked up the feed for them, and we run like heck,
Mm-hmm.
get away. And we didn't get no drop there until 2 days later. Any food and that.
Okay. Now, what about your equipment and clothing? Was that adequate or?
Everything we had on our back, that's all we had.
Uh-huh. Now,
No packs, you didn't have any, you sleep on the ground.
okay.
No tents or nothing.
What did you have for food?
Them 10 K rations or 10?
K rations
Yeah.
or C rations?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. And did you suffer at all from any kind of tropical diseases?
Malaria.
You had malaria?
Malaria, I had dysentery.
Okay.
Everybody had it.
What about dengue fever? Any of that too?
No,
Okay.
I don't remember.
What about like jungle rot? Any of the guys
I
suffer
did
from
that.
that?
I had juggernaut on the feet.
Okay. Okay. Were your feet wet all the time?
Sure, because and you didn't take a shower. There's no such a thing as taking a bath. Sometimes you go a week without taking a bath.
Uh-huh.
If you hit a river, and you might get a chance to go in and take a shower, but otherwise you can't. And if you did go, one time I went in the shower and come up, and the guy says, "Oh my God, look at you." I had them leeches that are about 3 inches long. I had one on the armpit, and one between my legs, and one on the neck.
Oh boy. How did they get them off of you?
I pull them off.
Okay.
Didn't have no cigarettes or nothing to take them off with.
Okay. So you guys didn't have cigarettes to smoke on the?
I didn't have any,
Okay. All right. Now, you mentioned here that you were surrounded on the hill by Japanese for about a week.
Yep.
Do you want to tell us about that?
Well, they had us surrounded us. We had a spring on top of the hill, but we lost it. The Japanese captured that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And before they captured it, there was a mule up there, I guess he was drinking, and they shot him, and he laid right in the spring, so that it was no good anyway. So we was without water for 2-3 days.
Ah.
But then they dropped this water in these big plastic bags. Some of them busted, and some of them we got.
Uh-huh. Okay. And you mentioned that the mules just laid there rotting.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the mules. Some of the mules were killed, and
Yeah.
that was it. What are you gonna do with them? You're on top of the hill.
Yeah.
It was bad enough you had to bury them dead.
Okay. All right. Now, were you wounded at all?
No, thank God.
Okay. What about the rest of your group? Were there a lot of casualties?
No. Oh yeah, we did. We lost a lot of guys. We lost quite a few guys on how many I don't know, but we lost quite a few guys on top in the boom there.
Okay. The ones that were wounded, how did they get out?
After the 3rd Battalion broke through, then they carried them out.
Okay. Okay.
They had to wait until there's no way to get them out. We were surrounded.
Okay. So you guys were rescued according to this on Easter Sunday,
Easter Sunday morning, 9
1944.
o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
When the 3rd Battalion broke through, and then we went out. We
Okay.
followed them right down the trail.
They must have been a welcome sight, huh?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay. And let's see. All right. Any other stories you want to tell us about? Any incidents or anything you recall?
I do recall in Nampunga, I went down over the hill to get some ammunition for the mortar, and coming back up, they had what they call a mountain howitzer. The Japanese, you hear the shell went off before you heard the coming. It was very fast. And coming up the hill, they shot, and there was a dud. It hit the top of the hill where I'd say 20 feet away from me, and there was a dud, went right straight out in the woods.
Oh.
In the jungle. And the next one hit. Then I brought the ammunition up, and I went to the foxhole at the time. And the next one hit about 30 feet away from me, and it killed one kid. And of course, this sergeant, he was lazy anyway, wouldn't dig a foxhole. He got on one of these banshees, and he got hit in the leg, about to kill the kid who was with him.
Wow. Now, what about the Japanese knee mortar? Were they pretty effective?
No, we didn't have to. I don't think they were.
Okay. All right. Now, you mentioned here that during the day you would wait and pray as you waited for orders as to where to fire our mortar rounds?
Yeah, because we just fired just over the front lines that, if the Japanese were coming in.
Uh-huh.
I tried to hit I saw one time where they hit where their big gun was firing from, but I tried to get that with the 81 mil mortar, but it wouldn't reach over that far.
Okay. Now, what were your officers like, and your sergeants?
I won't talk about the sergeant. I didn't see him from the time I got in Burma to the time I come out. I come out with him on the same plane.
Huh.
I asked him, where the hell you been? Well, he was down in headquarters. But my officers were good. As a matter of fact, our first officer was a fellow Piazza, and he got hit.
Uh-huh.
So as a matter of fact, he's the president of the Marauders Association now.
Oh, he's still living?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned Colonel McGee?
Yep, he was the commanding officer of the 2nd Battalion.
Okay, is he still
He
living?
just passed away.
Oh, did he?
Yep, I think sometime this year.
Okay.
Yep.
And what about Major Healy?
Yeah, he was see, I was in what they call, they had green, or 2nd Battalion had a green combat team and blue combat team. I was in the blue combat team, and I was Major Healy, was the combat commander. Nice guy, very nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Do you remember what it was like when you heard that the war in Europe ended?
I was back in the States at the time.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
When I left Burma, came out of Burma there, I went in the hospital. And from the hospital, I flew back first I got into Washington, and then I worked in the hospital there.
Okay. Now you were hospitalized because of malaria and dysentery?
Yep.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, coming over on the plane, I had malaria.
Okay. So you were in the hospital when the war had ended?
No, I was in Trenton, New Jersey. After I come back, they sent me home for 30 days. I got 30-day leave. And from the 30-day leave, then they sent me to Lake Placid Club for 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Or not up there. So after that, then they were I had to go in front of a T5. He was going to reassign me,
Uh-huh.
So he's going to send me way down to Texas. No, boy, I blew my stack. Anyway, I wound up with the MPs down in Trenton, New Jersey. We lived in a big old schoolhouse down there.
Okay, and do you recall approximately when that was? It had to have been in 1945, but...
Yeah, no, I don't.
Okay.
That's what I say. No,
Okay. Do you remember your reaction when you heard about the death of President Roosevelt?
Yeah, that was when we were... Oh, no. Yeah, I remember that, but I don't remember where I was.
Okay. And when you heard about the war ending in Europe, was there a lot of celebration?
In Jersey, yeah, there was.
Okay. And what about when the war ended in the Pacific with the dropping of the atomic bombs?
Yeah.
Had you heard anything about the bombs at all before that, or did you have any idea the destruction that they could produce?
No, I didn't realize how how bad it was going to be, but we heard about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
See, when I come back from, when I come out of Burma and come home, I had all my papers with me.
Mm-hmm.
All my paper, every paper I got, pay records and everything. And when I come back, naturally I had to give them away in Washington. That's where they took them. But there was three of us. We came back. We were on our own to come back.
Uh-huh.
And we got off in Karachi, India. That's where we got the first plane. And from there we went into Tunisia, I think it was. We stopped there, and then we stopped in Egypt, Cairo, Egypt.
Yeah.
And we didn't have no money. So this kid I was with, he's from New York. And he was a corporate. He says, "We'll go get some money." So we had our pay records. So we went to the Air Corps there, and they gave us $300 a piece. But they didn't mark it in. They stamped it or put a little piece of paper there and clamped it in there, So after that, we got out. He said, he tear the paper out, and I think in Casablanca. We stopped there for a minute. We stopped there for a couple of days. So we got some more money there.
Oh, gee.
That day, this guy he was corporate.
And so you finally made it back to the States.
Yeah, I lost. He went back by himself. I went by myself. And I was on a plane. There was two generals, and there was all officers on a plane but me.
Uh-huh.
And I had an awful.
And you were sick. You were sick at that point.
I had an awful case of malaria that day.
Uh-huh.
On that plane. And I remember the general. I don't even remember his name. I never heard his name. He came up and sat with me. "You'll be all right, son. You'll be all right, son." So, as the minute the plane landed in Washington, they had an ambulance, right? He wired ahead, from the plane, and they had an ambulance waiting for me to take.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, what hospital did they take you to?
I don't remember.
Was it probably Walter Reed?
Walter Reed, probably.
Okay. All right. Then you were in the hospital for a while. Then you came home.
Came home.
Okay.
Yeah.
For rehab, and then you were reassigned.
Reassigned down to when they going to send me to Washington or to Texas, I blew my stack. I said no. There's got to be someplace closer. I said that was the first time I've been home since I've been in the Army.
Uh-huh.
They never got no relief after basic. We went right gone.
Yep.
It was nice though.
So they got you a little closer to home then.
Yeah, down the MP down there. Then when I was in the MP, they sent me down to Camden, New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
There were 7 of us. We lived in a house. I was the only non-com there. We lived in a big old house there. And all we did was patrol the bars in Camden there for.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, were you a sergeant at that point?
I was staff sergeant.
Staff sergeant. Okay. All right. And then I see you were discharged in December 15th of 45.
Yep.
Now, whereabouts were you discharged from? Was it Fort Dix?
Fort Dix.
Okay.
Right at they broke up the MPs down in Camden or Trenton, and they sent me to Rikers Island. That's where all the general prisoners are.
Uh-huh.
And there was a captain down there. He was from Amsterdam, and I can't remember his name. But he told me, I was staff sergeant, he says, "Hey, I'm going to give you 2 more stripes. Stay here." I said, "You know what you should do with this? Take it and shove it, man. I'm going home." Oh, well, that was bad because they're all general prisoners there.
Uh-huh.
Ah,
Okay. So once you were discharged, you came back home.
yep.
Was there a lot of celebration with your family in that?
Yeah, with my mother and our
Okay.
family, yeah.
How did you come back home from Fort Dix?
Train.
By train? Okay. And once you got back, did you make use of the GI Bill at all?
No, no, I should have went right back to school and finished my education, but I didn't.
Okay.
I was too wild.
Did you make use of that 5220 club?
Yes, I did.
Did you max it out?
Yeah, too much so. It's no good.
Okay.
That's the biggest mistake I made when I did get out.
Okay.
Because this friend of mine there, he went in too, and he went back to school. He had a year to go, and he went back and finished it. Got his GED. I could have got it in the service when I was in Trenton. I could have.
Did you eventually get your GED?
No, never got it.
Well, you know you are eligible for it.
Yeah.
Anyone that served in the military during World War II, I can get you the paperwork, and you are eligible
Yeah.
to receive your high school diploma.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can take care of that for you. Now, eventually you went back to work.
Yeah.
What line of work did you go into?
Well, first, I went to work in a lumber mill, which I hated. And then I worked there for a while, and then my brother and I, we worked for this mason. We learned the mason trade, and then eventually him and I went in business for ourselves as the masons, like brickwork or block, or like my fireplace, or plastering houses.
Okay.
We did a lot of plastering houses at that time because the sheetrock wasn't out yet. Like that. And him and I were together for 35 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever use the GI Bill to buy
No.
buy a home?
No,
No. Okay.
I built this house.
Okay. All right. And did you join any veterans organizations?
American Legion.
Okay. And obviously you've stayed in touch with some of the people you were in service
Oh
with.
yeah, they're all dead.
Uh-huh.
There's only one guy, and I think he's gone now because I haven't heard from him.
Okay.
I mean, all my close buddies that I was with in the Merrills, they're all gone.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that's there is my Lieutenant Piazza.
Okay. And have you attended reunions at all?
Yeah, the last one, no, I haven't. The last one I don't remember what it was. 80. Back in the 80s, I went to Orlando, and then I went in Massachusetts. That was the last one I went to, was in Massachusetts. That was in the 90s.
Okay. All right. How do you think your time in the service changed or affected your life?
I don't think it affected it at all.
No? Okay. And when did you get married?
1950.
1950, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And my wife and I were married for 51 years.
Uh-huh. And how many children?
No, she adopted two.
Okay.
No, didn't have any of her own, just adopted.
Okay.
And they're both gone.
Oh. Okay. I like you, if you would, first hold up that photograph. And can you tell us when and where that was taken?
Camp Cross, South Carolina. Let's see. When did I go into service?
You went in 1942.
That's it. That was taken 1942.
Okay.
Camp Cross, South Carolina.
And you were what, 18 at that?
No, I was 21.
21. Okay. All right. And would you hold up that other tray you have?
Both of them at the same time?
No, you can set the photograph down.
Oh.
Okay. And those are your medals.
Yep.
And your Staff Sergeant stripes.
Yep.
And you got the Combat Infantry badge,
Yes,
I see.
I do. Bronze Star.
Okay.
Good contact medal.
Okay. Now, you've got an interesting story about that patch. Do you want to tell us about it? The Merrill's Marauder patch?
Well, I bought it in India. There was another guy and I, we went to the store and we bought two of them. I got one. And I took this patch over to, they had a gun show over to Saratoga in the Civic Center there.
Yeah.
And I told the guy about it. He always says, I tried to patch one in, and I had to bill of sale. So
Uh-huh.
I'll give you $600 for it. I said, no, you won't. I'll keep it.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, with the bill of sale, how much did the patch cost you?
$4 for two of them.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
I got the bill of sale right out there.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about that
There's
we made?
another thing out there. It's on the kitchen table or on the dining room table there. That this major, every 2 weeks he would send a thing to my mother, like a little note that I would be all right and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So I still got them. I saved them too.
Do you want to show those to us? Let me stop the camera a second. And you...
This is what he sent for 4 weeks. I don't know if you see. You can't.
Yeah, I can zoom right in on that. Okay, got it.
This is the last one. That's the very last one he sent me. Or sent my mother, rather.
Yeah, I'm having a little trouble focusing in on
Yeah,
all
it's
of
kind
it.
of bad.
Okay. Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your interview.
I appreciate it. From the Navy Department, you know, it says email, and they get, or V-mail, and she got that, she says, oh my God.
Was she afraid something happened to you?
Sure, because you get it from the War and Navy, it says there, and then V-mail.
Yeah.
And usually, on that, naturally, they sent an officer, you know, if anything really happened.
Okay.
But,
All right. Well, thank you again.
okay. So,
Okay. Do you want to hold those pictures up and
yeah.
tell us about them? Okay, I can zoom right in on that.
Let's see, 1, 2. These are the three guys. This guy, this one, and this one were in my squad. And this guy was he was the first sergeant in a hospital area.
Now, are you in that picture?
Yeah, right on the end.
Oh, okay, that's you on the end.
On the right.
Okay,
Got it?
got it.
This, and this is me, that's me. And that's the Sergeant Burke, he was the one I was telling you about. And this is Major Yeager. She was the nurse in charge of the hospital. She was in charge of the nurses. She's a very nice woman.
Okay.
And there's a picture of just me. That's the way we dressed over in Burma. You can, half the time, if we wasn't in the, if we weren't in the,
Okay.
that's it. If we weren't around the hospital area, we didn't have pants, just shorts, that's all. It was so darn hot.
Uh-huh.
Oh, terrible.
Oh, I meant to ask you, any problems with like snakes or scorpions or anything like that out in the jungle?
Leeches.
Just leeches?
Because we, after all, that's all we did was if you went to sleep, you slept on the ground.
Uh-huh.
You know, there's no such a thing as a tent or anything.
Okay.
Didn't have any tents. The only thing, the only thing we had was this what he had on the back, the canteen and the mess kit and a shovel.
So you didn't even have a blanket?
No, blanket.
Okay.
Oh God. No, it was terrible. Usually, and then if it's raining, you're suffering. Oh, you'll see right out there, you're laying right in the. That's what I say, that's why we lost a lot of guys like that.
Uh-huh. Now, what about like the native population? Did you work with them at all?
We had what they call Kachins. They worked with our interpreters.
Uh-huh.
We had Japanese interpreters, and they worked with them. They were very good.
Mm-hmm.
And one incident there, this one Kachin, he sided in with the Japanese, and his family got a hold of him and cut his tongue out.
Oh.
He finally died, but they
Uh-huh.
ripped his tongue right out of his mouth.
Wow.
Yeah, they were the Kachins were good.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we had the Chinese, and the only time they could make a Chinese move is throw their rations on ahead of them, so they get out of to go after the Japanese, because the Japanese would come after the rations too. So that's the only way they get them going. Oh, they were terrible.
Uh-huh. Now, did you ever encounter any American civilians, like missionaries?
No.
Or?
This one guy, my barber, he did, but I didn't see him. He was in the medics, and he encountered some, but I didn't even know he was there. But he was encountered some missionaries, and they were sisters for some church outfit.
Hmm.
But we didn't see them. They were before we got in there. But it was good.
Okay, well, thank you again.
Yep.